There we go. Whoa, where's Steve gone? Steve's right. Look at that. We're starting off with a bang. Steve's and he's back. Hello, mate.
Hello. Yeah, no, for some reason it crashed halfway through the countdown.
It kind of sounds like the Chiefs' NFL season. Right, so, folks, we're not even 20 seconds in and we're already at it. Right, well, we've got a guest. Steve, I'm going to let you do this bit, mate. He's not there, but you can go.
Yeah. So we got my good friend Cameron. He's never played American football, so we have broken our rules with the Britball guest sort of thing. But he is a Packers fan, and because of last week, we kept having a lot of fun. He kept chiming in, so we said, let's get him on.
Is he the reason you're the 8-0 Packers by nickname?
Yeah.
No, in fairness, I said that, but then he agreed. So, individual choice.
I'm not actually sure who said it first.
Well, it was rubbish anyway. So I'm only joking. I think he's a great team. We're gonna get into that in a minute. Right. Well, introduce yourself, mate. What you do? How did you get into football?
So I got into football. My dad went over to Miami when I was like 2 or 3, and he tried to make me a Dolphins fan. I had a little bit of sense because obviously when he went, it was sort of mid to late 90s. So Dan Marino was quarterback, and it was, they were a good team.
The amount of people I know who are Finns fans because of Dan Marino is crazy.
And he tried to make me do it. And when I was getting into football was about 2008. And I looked at the Dolphins team and I thought, I ain't doing that. But I got Madden 09 on the PlayStation 3 and Brett Favre was on the front. And then I went and watched some compilations and I was like, right, I like this guy. He kind of just lobs the ball really far because I didn't understand the game at that point. And so the Packers were my team. Needless to say, he then got traded about 3 weeks after the game got released to the Jets. And so I was like, who's this Aaron Rodgers guy? And immediately traded back Brett Favre on the game when I did it. And then, 2 years later, we've won it. So I can't really complain. It's been a nice time as a Packers fan. But I think we probably should have had another couple of Super Bowls before, Rodgers deserved a couple, but we've had a bad run.
You won't find a part of me that some players deserve it, but that's what it's not about. Unfortunately, I agree and I disagree. It's one of them. It's good that you're into it. How old are you, if you don't mind me asking, mate?
I'm 30. I was 30 in February, so
mate, I started playing this sport when I was like 27, 28. I would recommend it. If you want to play the best position ever, though, O-line.
I think at 5'8" and about 11 stone dripping wet, that's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, but you could do. It'd be a very short career, but
yeah, it'd last about one snap, I think.
Oh, mate, do you know what? I've only ever played O-line with like one short guy, like what would be deemed to be short. His name was James Burtonwood. He was a great guy, and it was funny because when he used to put his pad on, his beard would just be hanging out of his pad. Steve, what have you been doing, mate? What's going on with you?
Honestly, not a lot. So me and my girlfriend, we did Christmas this week. So we gave our presents away, and I've cooked a few things from scratch. So that's about it.
I cooked my wife a pot noodle last night.
Oh yeah.
Love is in the air. Well, that's good. I mean, me, mate. For anyone who doesn't know, I'm fundraising for a friend of mine. A partner in work has motor neuron disease, so I'm doing 100k dressed as the Grinch, and I've got 6k to go. So, hang on, we've got a comment here, and I'm going to read this out. Trust Mateo to invite a Packers fan on the show to rub some salt into the wounds. I didn't invite him. Steve invited him, so I'm just doing the damage.
This was my fault, yeah.
The championship is not won in December, is all I'm going to say.
Mate, say that to a Chiefs fan. Say that to a Chiefs. Anyway, I've got 6k to go. We are 9% short of the 100% mark, which is $3,000. But I ended up going viral.
Pretty quick.
Well, mate, I ended up. Yes, it was a great game, but we're going to get into that in a minute. Let's not spoil the fun for our Packers fan. But some like TikTok influencer put I must have like walked past the house or something, and she put a clip of me, and I'm there like power walking, but like I've got mute. I take like a rucksack of a speaker and that's playing Christmas music, so it's even more cringe. And like you can see me like proper bopping along. I think I'm bopping along to which one is it? Can't sing it.
Stop the Cavalry by John.
That's the one. Yes. Yeah, that's like one of the elite ones. Anyway, but no, I've been doing that. Getting ready for some football stuff. Still practicing some kicking to see what's going on. That's it. But I think we get into it because we've got loads to go through, and I mean loads. Some of it painful, some of it not. No. Let me finish. I'm nearly done. I know you're gonna go to this bit. I just want to say this. For any Chiefs fans out there, you're upstate.
No, I was gonna say before we start, I decided after I watched us lose, I decided not to watch any NFL this week.
Why?
So I've got no numbers, I've got no stats, I've got nothing really for this.
You're all right though, because
I'm a Broncos fan, which is the closest thing to being an Everton fan. We were that bad for the last 9 years. I still love it. I still love football, mate. Nah, you've got to keep watching it. There's so many other good games. Someone asked me a question today: if I had a second team, who would he be? And I'm like, oh God.
Oh.
And I'm thinking, and I'm like, can I have a second team? And you're like, who's the team that you like? But who's the team I like this season? Is the Colts, just for this whole mad QB situation. But let's get into it. Let's get into it.
I was going to say my second team would probably be the Vikings. Because I'm a North Pagan, so.
Did you say you're a Broncos? Broncos is your second team. Let's get to it.
Them too.
So, hang on, great game nevertheless. I agree. I nearly clicked end stream there. That would have been an absolute belter of a show. Right, so the first game, let's make this bigger because that is ridiculous. Technology, eh? Let's open this up. The first game of the week, week 15, was the Buccaneers against the Falcons. 80% of the public vote. And all three of us backed the Buccaneers because we're not insane.
No. Actually, if you remember, I messaged you privately saying I picked the Falcons for this game.
Can't remember. Anyway, so the Buccaneers got beat 28-29. Falcons getting the win. Great game. I think we're going to be saying that a lot, by the way. Great game. And then we're going to be saying, we can't swear, but poor game. Falcons, they're a team that's not been hit or miss. Buccaneers, they've just... when I say the sinking ship is sinking, Celine Dion singing on the ship next to it, My Heart Will Go On, and there's no heart going on it. They're absolutely dying. Hang on. Oh, we've got a legend who's just commented, Matt is the GOAT forever, IDST. Right, I don't know what that means. I'm not with it. But this is Warwick. He's a great guy. He's one of the good guys one of the great guys in Britball. There's good guys, there's great guys, and there's people we don't like. Warwick, much love. But the ship is sinking. Anyway, this is great. I tell you what, we're gonna go to Steve first, and then Steve, you can introduce your mate again.
Yeah, well, there's a reason I picked the Falcons. I don't think the Buccaneers are the last few weeks and us not playing football properly.
You're up in the comment.
Evening, guys. Bear down. Can't wait till. Sorry, I'm just laughing at bear down. Can't wait till Saturday night with the Bears.
PJ.
It makes more sense when you read the rest of the comment, but for a second I was like, what does bear down mean? Yeah, you can't wait till the Bears go down.
Brilliant, by the way. What a comeback of the season. Honestly, fantastic. Nearly as good as the Broncos. Won't be as quite good as though. Anyway, how's it, mate?
Yeah, as I said, I just felt like the Buccaneers have been awful the last few weeks, and I thought the Falcons had been putting in effort.
Yeah,
they deserved the win. I just thought maybe this could be the week. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't like a full-on pundit. I wasn't saying like I was right or anything, but it was just putting the numbers together. Bucks were awful. Falcons been trying, so I thought they deserved the win.
Fair. Well,
what about you, Cameron?
There we go.
This is what I would consider the worst division in football and has been for a long time. Nobody in that division wants to win games. Nobody wants to go to the playoffs. Now, I would suggest that if you're committing 19 penalties in a game, as Tampa Bay did, collapsing against a 4-9 team, which they did, they probably don't deserve to go to the playoffs. Do you know what? Can we just exclude the NFC South from any form of going to the playoffs? Because it's not worth it at this point. One thing I will say though, I've been on the Kyle Pitts redemption arc for months and years because I believe he has got the skill set and the ability to do it. And 166 yards and 3 touchdowns, Kyle Pitts is getting paid this summer off one game because they'd be silly to let him go.
I saw Kyle Pitts when I went to the NFL game in Wembley. I saw him in his rookie year, and that was the year I decided. So I agree. I decided he's better than most people seem to think he is.
Interesting. Okay. I think you by all means disagree. Are both teams' seasons over?
I think New Orleans are making a run. I think Tampa aren't secure as the division winners. I don't think they are.
Okay.
But you think New Orleans could be?
No, but they've got to play Tampa, and I think that could potentially swing it.
That's mental that we're having this conversation. Yeah, hang on. This is brilliant. This yeah, can I show this? Oh, 2 secs. Sorry, me being old. Talking bad about NFC South is like taking candy from a baby. They like the weird cousin where it's PG, man. Try to keep it PG. It's mad that we're talking about the Saints still because I think, do you know what? I'm going to have to agree with Cameron's original comment. Can we just exclude this division? Yeah. Should we just move on?
Yeah.
Should we just move on at this point? I mean, right. The best way I can describe this game before we move on is it wasn't a game I was interested in.
It wasn't, but the fact that the Falcons won is wild.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. Right, let's move on to the next game, which was a horrendous game. It was absolutely awful. The Bengals against the Ravens. 75% of the public, myself and Steve, we picked the Ravens. Lee picked the Bengals, and it was an absolute 24-0 to the Ravens. Bengals looked like they come back with a bit of a vengeance there. They're a team I'd love to see in the playoffs, considering how bad they were doing at one point. Surely that's a few records broken. Cameron, did you catch this one, mate? Any thoughts?
Well, I had Red Zone on for the.
Can they make the playoffs?
I'm going to say no because I think Pittsburgh have got that division locked. I'm an Aaron Rodgers truther, as you can probably tell, and I always have been. I still think Brady is the best. Brady's the best to ever do it. No, the greatest to ever do it. Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback that's ever played in terms of actual being a quarterback. He's just not been lucky with team. But in this game, Baltimore are playing against a team that don't care about football anymore. Joe Burrow has very clearly said he's not having fun. He's made quite a few pointed remarks towards the Bengals organization over the last couple of weeks. And I'd be surprised if he sees out his contract there. One thing is, like, I know Steve's not got stats this week, but 84-yard interception. I don't know if you saw the Eloy Gilman intercept return pick 6, but it was fantastic. The handoff from the defensive lineman, I think it was Kyle Van Noy, handed it off, and he just went, and it was brilliant. But Cincinnati were just a damp squib, really, more than anything else. It's a shame to see.
Stephen.
Yeah, well, Joe Burrow has said he is going to continue playing for the Bengals. He basically said it was like he was frustrated, but like
you are going to be frustrated though. Like this, the one thing that makes me baffle in American football is, for example, the Bengals defense could have stopped the Ravens and made them punts, and they'll be celebrating, but they'll be 24-0 down. I'd be mortified to celebrate anything like that.
Yeah.
But the Bengals.
Imagine though, like like Joe Burrow. Okay. This particular game, he had an awful game, but he's been putting up numbers.
Yeah.
And the defense has not been really giving him anything at all.
Yeah.
So of course, by this point in the season, he was just like, "Why am I caring? Why am I trying?"
I think different. That you just keep going no matter what. That's my thing. Unless he's calling it a day, like playing completely, you just keep going. You just
Yeah.
there was a lad who I used to play with at Chester Owens. Andy, his name was. He came from like D line to O line for his last year, and I should have thought about it then. But he said like these are the best days of your life, and it was his last season. He didn't tell anyone until he finished. Like, but these are the best days of your life, and they are. Like you should be. Yeah. Right. I think what we're taking the shine away from here is how good the Ravens were.
Yeah, true.
The defense shut out a really high scoring Bengals. The
But
Bengals.
even then, Lamar wasn't that good.
I don't think he's that good of a quarterback, though. I'm an anti Lamar Jackson guy because he's a great runner. When that athleticism runs out, he doesn't have the IQ to be able to pick passes out.
I'm going to go one further.
Yeah.
I think he's still injured.
He could be
because he's not making them runs.
Even before, if we look at the last few years, Lamar actually hasn't been a good quarterback.
Mm. I think it's the pace he's got that just adds that extra, extra level to it. Look, clearly there's better throwers than him, but I think it's time we move on to the next one because this one's another horrendous game. The Philadelphia Eagles were against them Raiders. We're not too keen on. Well, I'm not anyway. And I backed the Eagles more in hope. I did say the Raiders more in hope than anything. And the Eagles spanked the Raiders 31-0. It was 100% vote to the Eagles. It was an awful game. It was an absolute atrocious game.
Terrible game.
Yeah.
I've got nothing else to say other than that. So, Steve, I'm going to go to you, and then Cameron will come to you after that, mate.
I will say the only that I do have is the fact that it was the same score as when the Chiefs beat the Eagles. It was 31-0 for the Chiefs. It was 31-0 for the Eagles. Like that's about it.
Okay, Cameron.
Jalen Hurts is good against bad defenses, and that's it.
Oh, I agree.
Yes.
I honestly think this season he's shown he's very good at getting to third down and getting to third and very short, and that carried him last season. This season, he's not been good at getting to third and short. So the tush push he's not getting in that position. Barkley's not been good enough. AJ Brown was shut out for the first 6 weeks. Like, it's just something's not going right there, and nobody's taken advantage of it. The Cowboys have been awful. The Commanders have been awful. Like, it's a shame really that nobody's taken the onus in that division, and they're going to sneak into the playoffs somehow.
But the thing is so the playoffs is a different ball game. I'll agree on that. And when teams like these, and when the Chiefs used to do it, sneak into the playoffs or smash it and get in the playoffs, they have a different level of performing, that experience playing the playoffs. We've got a comment here. Backing the Raiders to win that game was like picking Maidstone Pumas in Survival League. I don't know who that is, but it was a stupid decision made. But it was more hope. And please, and just to upset Lee a little bit more. I like staying in the pot with me football buddies, which I'm going to talk about a bite I got later. Do you know what I'm going about, Steve? But no, it's just an awful game. Like, there's no fight from the Raiders at all. If I'm at that game, I'm like, I'm not doing the rest of the season. I couldn't put myself through that. Never mind like kids or anything. Anyone got anything else to say in this one?
Brandon Graham.
I'm just going to say that the Raiders aren't even in pole position or close to pole position for number 1 point in a draft.
Who is?
The Giants.
The Giants, yeah.
We've got a good comment here from Russell. My comment on Hurts being mediocre on an earlier show has come true. He's absolutely loving that, isn't he? And Pumas at one point not winning a game for 7 years. Oh, there you go. That's fair. Yeah, you're kind of right there, to be fair. Go on. Sorry, gents.
It's all right. I was just going to say, Brandon Graham, 2 sacks coming off the sofa, which probably says more about how bad the Raiders' offensive line is, to be honest. But not great.
They need changes, but we've been saying this that long. Sorry, Steve, you're going to tell me it was bottom pick one.
Giants.
Well, he's not going to like that, Coach Russ. Right, let's move on. Next one, the Texans against the Cardinals. Texans who just keep getting better and better for me. Their defense is saving that team. I will say that offense needs to step up. Texans won 40-20 against the Cardinals. All three of us, 78% of the public backed that. It's a good score that for what you would call an offense shy team. So I think they'll take that going into the next few weeks. These next few weeks, if you're going in the playoffs, momentum is so important. Crazy hella important. I'd be interested to get your thoughts. Did you watch this one, Cameron?
Yeah, as I say, I had Red Zone on for the early slate, and then was just half watching because when the Packers were on, I was not watching anything else. But it was interesting to see. Obviously, they brought Jawar Jordan in off the practice squad. Yep. He ran 101 yards on 15 carries, which is pretty mad considering he'd been on the practice squad. And as you say, momentum is with them. They are probably in pole position for that division. I know they're not there yet, but I don't think I'd love a Phillip Rivers Super Bowl. If we can't win it, I would want Phillip Rivers to win the Super Bowl, but I don't think it's going to happen. So I think the Texans take that division now.
Okay, Steve.
Yeah, well, as we've seen, what I've got my playoff predictions up on our Instagram. I have the Texans since like 2 weeks ago winning the division. I'm still sticking by that.
Okay,
that's all I've very got to add.
I mean, look, it's a team I got to watch for a good amount of time because they played us and we beat them. I was really surprised how good the defense is. I think their defense is at the level to get as far as they can get. It's their offense that needs to sort itself out. Right.
It kind of sounds a little bit like the Broncos.
What do you mean?
Good defense, not a very good offense.
I mean, we've lost 2 games all season by last-second field goals. We're pretty much bang on to be in the playoffs. But let's talk about a team that's not going to playoffs. Next up, we had the Chiefs against the Chargers. It was a 50-50 vote. 50-50. Anyone remember that program? Hang on, wait there. We've got a comment from Obi-Wan Ken Kraken. This is the best name I've ever seen in my life. I've got to read this. We'll see tonight. Should be interesting. New boys got prime for the game. Yes, mate, I've got it. I'm ready. I'll be in bed by 10, mate. There's no chance to watch it. I'll watch the highlights in the morning. Right, next up, the Chiefs against the Chargers. 13-16. So the Chargers won. We all backed the Chiefs. I did genuinely think the Chiefs were going to do it, but like they have done all season, they kind of choked. I've said for a bit, I didn't think they weren't going to make the playoffs. There's just something not right. They've had a few too many key injuries, especially to the wide receiver unit, and it was a real shame to see a QB go down with a season-ending injury. It'll be interesting to see how he comes back off that because it's not an injury for me that I feel like you ever fully heal. Steve, we're going to come to you last in this one. Cameron, what are your thoughts in this one, mate? Where's it gone wrong for the Chiefs this season? Look, before you do that, we can all laugh at them and do this, because they've been so good for so long. Us laughing at them is a compliment to how good they've been because they have been good. Cameron, you're up, mate.
I don't think the Chiefs have ever had a fantastic roster from top to bottom throughout the time that they've been good. Patrick Mahomes is obviously far and above the most talented quarterback in the league at the moment.
So just a question on Mahomes. So are you saying Mahomes good, great, or God level?
Great, not God level.
Okay, who's God level?
If we talk what right now in the league,
yeah,
right now in the league.
Well, I know you're going to say Bo Nix, but who else?
I don't think in the league right now there is a quarterback that I would consider top 5 all time, not even top 10 all time. And if we're thinking about people like Dan Marino, Steve Young, if we're talking about Rodgers, Brady.
Sorry, I'm just going to go crying to my tissue because you never said Bo Nix.
Rodgers is still in but he's not operating he's not operating at that level. If we're talking right now at this point, there's no top tier quarterbacks in the league. A couple of seasons ago, I'd have said maybe Burrow. I'd have said Mahomes maybe is on the way to being there. But I think Mahomes has shown this season that without Kelsey as a reliable release valve, he doesn't have anything. because he can't. He tries to play the hero a little bit too much, and he doesn't have any receivers that are able to get separation. So before he had Tyreek Hill, who no matter what, he's beating the safety, he's getting into the end zone, and you can just hoof a ball up and he's getting it. They don't have that anymore. Worthy is possibly that build, but he's too small. He's not physical enough.
That's what I was
But
going to say.
he's not physical. He's not physical enough. He
Worthy.
can't go one-on-one with the cornerback. He can't go one-on-one with the safety. Rasheed Rice is great underneath the linebackers, but as he's shown, he's getting hit and run every week. Bad joke.
We've got a comment here. Barrow getting out the Cincinnati ever. And
I don't think his contract's tradable, to be honest.
And I've got another one. From Coach Russ. Steve, do you agree there were some questionable calls against the Chiefs?
Yeah, but I'm always going to think that.
Years and years and years.
I'm always going to think a 50-50 is always going to go to the. I think they're going to be wrong.
Years of ref ball has come back to the Chiefs, and I'm quite happy about it. So, but yeah, I think the championship window's gone. I think Kelsey's retiring. I think Mahomes isn't going to come back the same explosive player that he was. It's rebuild mode, and I think back to my original point, they've never had a great roster, but they have had the best coach possibly of all time, and he has got the best out of what he's had. People have figured the Chiefs out, and it's put Mahomes under pressure, but don't actually go at him. He'll think he needs to play hero ball, and you intercept the ball, and that's what's happened this season, time and time and time again.
Yeah, but do we think it's time to get rid of Andy Reid, or is Mahomes the problem?
I think Mahomes' ego is the problem, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah. No, I do agree. I do completely agree. I think Mahomes tries way too much to be the hero.
I want to pop in on the ego comment. Playing this level of sports, playing any level of sport, if you are very competitive, there's a very good chance there's going to be an ego there. So I get the ego comment, but playing that level of sports, it's pretty much impossible to not have that ego and push yourself above them limits. We just got another comment before we go back, gents. Do you think Miami keeps their coach and QB duo for next year?
No.
I don't know.
It's been announced.
Oh, has it been announced?
Tua's third string. He's gone. It's Quinn Ewers being backed up by Wilson on Sunday.
Oh, fair. Back to it, gents.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the problem with Mahomes is I agree with you to the the ego thing. I think that's right. It's the fact that he thinks he can make every single throw, and sometimes you have to understand. And Brady was the best at it. Brady was never like a Rodgers or a Mahomes where he could fling the ball 60, 70 yards and hit it. But he knew when it was right to check down. He could read a defense really, really well. And he was always making the smart throws rather than trying to make the Hollywood throws, which is what Mahomes does.
Mahomes.
Let me just read this comment. Sorry,
Mahomes does have
Reid has had multiple Super Bowls. If they get rid of him after one bad season, it's madness. And then we've got another comment, and we're going to read this one. Sorry, but you guys are saying Mahomes' ego, is he meant to make every playoffs? That's a great comment. Do you know what? I think whoever you are, by the way, that's a brilliant question. For me, it's the level of expectancy. So like people expect them to be there. People just expect, as long as they make the playoffs, they'll be sound. And it's kind of like the same thing for me. Gents, by all means, pop up and disagree. We've got some great comments in here, by the way, and we're going to go through every comment. We're literally going to go through every comment as long as it's not abusive. But like it's like Britball, for example. People in Northern League, people are always going to expect Manchester to be there, and that's why it was really good to see Coventry giving them a run for the money last year. The Newcastle Vikings, for me, they're just expected to be there every year. So that ego suits that team's mentality. Anyone wants to go on and give a comment on that one? We have got a few comments to get through.
I would say if you're going to have that ego, you've got to be able to back it up, right? And whilst Mahomes has up till now, I would say he wants to consider himself around with Brady. The only times that the Patriots did not make the playoffs the entire time Brady was starting quarterback was when he was injured for more than 3 games.
That's crazy stat. Steve, that's a brilliant stat. I like this guy. Forget the fact he's a Packers fan. Steve, you're up, mate. We've got about 50 million comments to go through.
Yeah, but do we remember what year Brady got injured? it was his 9th season. This is also Mahomes' 9th season. When Brady got injured, the 9th season, so his 8th season, he lost the Super Bowl. So, hey, look, history repeating itself.
Look, it's going to be interesting. Let's move on to these comments because we've got loads of them coming through. Right, let's have a look at this one. What's this one saying? I can't read it because me visions. I think the Chiefs cannot go to the conference championship for a year. People giving them the 2000s Patriots is wild. Sorry, I'm coming through all these comments. Yes, Nathan, it's my psych. How is that? Right, yeah. Hang on, wait there. How is that ego through that? The fact that every year he's been in the league, he's been in the conference championship. That's not his fault. I'm not saying it's his fault. Again, it's just going back to the point. I think it's a great thing to have an ego. I don't think it's a bad thing at all.
It was also one of the reasons they almost didn't draft him.
Well, look, I think to you look at all the top performers in pretty much every sport. There's an ego there to back it. Again, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think what the Chiefs have achieved is absolutely fantastic. Are they going to be rubbish for a few years? No, I don't think so. I think they'll be back with a bang next year. Hang on, wait there. Sorry, these messages are coming through thick and thin, which is exactly what we want. He's been in the league maybe 5 years with 3 rings. Mahomes set standards so high. Yes, that is a great comment. It's not his ego. It's more like that's his standard. I agree. Jesus loves you. I love Jesus too. Can he make me win the lottery? I'm going to have to research that stat because Brady went 6 years, no championship. Hell is real. Oh my God, what's this comment? Hell is real and Jesus wants to save your soul. Repent and turn to Jesus. I think I'm pretty screwed, mate. Brady never... Hang on. Wait there. 2 seconds. Trying to show this comment.
Have we got a load of bots following us? Apparently?
Brady never took a snap in regular season when his team was out of playoff contention. Oh my God, right. Let's keep going. Sorry, we have... I love this. I love this.
Surely he did because he lost the Super Bowl.
I love this. Been looking for some English lads to talk NFL with. Mate, drop us a message. More than happy to have a chat with you and say how awesome the Denver Broncos are. Right, should we move on to the next game? I mean, we're all done. We haven't got the rights to Celine Dion. My heart will go on because I would be playing it right now for Stephen. And it has been hurtful. Right, let's move on to the next one. Brilliant. This one for me was up there for game of the week. Patriots 31, Bills 35. All 3 of us backed the Bills as well as 35% of the public. Brilliant game. Steve, I'm going to come to you for your thoughts on this one. I reckon you were still watching this before you got upset.
Yeah, well, I had.
Sorry, 1 second.
So
One second. We've got a really abusive comment here. Bo Nix still questionable. Bo Nix has been awesome, mate. We're going to get back into that into a bit.
He hasn't.
Oh, mate, go home and cry. Sorry, I'm talking. There's comments coming through here. Go on, mate. As you were.
Yeah, no, I was messaging the group. I think it was like 21-0, and I was like, "Oh, the Bills are having a bad time here," and then they scored, and I was like, "Oh, they scored just as I messaged, and now somehow the Bills come back." I don't know about Josh Allen this season though. I'm not 100% sold on him being a good quarterback this season.
Okay, well, Karen, whenever you're ready, mate.
It's a shame really because I was kind of on the Drake May for MVP train.
Not Bo Nix, no.
Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to why, and it's not even just because we lost to you, but like there is reasons. But Drake May is taking a team that is genuinely. He's got no 1A receiver. Stephon Diggs is not that guy anymore. He's not really even got a 2A receiver, to be honest. Kayshon Boutte is not that guy. He's not got a tight end. He's not really got a running back or for the full season. I know Travion Henderson is good, but he's not been allowed to be let loose all season. Drake May has carried that team, and it was a shame to see it go. But I think the reason that Josh Allen will win MVP is because he will get the Bills back to the conference championships because he is in the clutch. When you need Josh Allen to perform, Josh Allen will put the team on his back and go.
Cameron, I'm going to let you read this comment if you can see it, mate.
Whoever said best game of the season must have forgot Ravens versus Bills first game. Yeah. I think the Bills have had a habit of being in these games where they look like they're going to absolutely get smashed and then coming out on the right side of it. But that's the difference between having an elite quarterback and having Lamar Jackson or having somebody like, I don't know, who else is average? I didn't want to say it, but yeah, we'll go with that. But yeah, it's a shame. I like the fact that the Patriots are doing well. I'm not a Patriots hater because I liked Brady. I thought, it is what it is.
Brady was brilliant for the sport. Let's just lay that out there. Brady was brilliant for the sport. The mad thing I used to see him, and it used to drive me insane because it happened to the Chiefs and the Eagles for a bit. Is when people are like, oh, they only do so good because the refs helped them. Shut up. Just stop. Just stop. They were a great team. Brilliant team, and it was only good for football. Oh, hang on, we've got a comment here. Someone's put Lamar Jackson average ? And then what blasphemy? Whoever said you're up?
I agree. I think he is. Lamar Jackson has had the joy of an incredible offensive line, a fantastic defense the entire time he's been there, and the God-given gifts of athleticism that he's got. The more injuries he's got, the less explosive he is, the less runs he's going on. And we were speaking about it at the time when we were talking about that game. Where's the runs where he's just going through and gapping a linebacker, so he's just got 25, 30 yards. It's not happening anymore. I just don't, and he's not got the vision or the ability to read a defense. He doesn't go through his progressions properly. He's an average quarterback, but an elite A-level athlete.
Okay, we've got another comment here. The opinion on the tush push here. I don't like it. Steve, you like the tush push?
Not really, but also I am a rugby fan, so it is a rugby kind of play.
We have got a ton of comments, gents. So let's.
But it's mostly for me the tush push is that it can't be officiated properly.
Do you know why people don't like it? Because their team didn't think of it first, and they're not as good at it. That's how I feel about it.
Oh yeah. I agree.
It's one of those things that it's in the rules until it gets banned. They are within their rights to do it. They're fantastic at it, and why shouldn't they do it?
It's when the rules aren't followed, because in terms of there was a thing the other day. I can't remember who they're playing, mate. I'm not going to be able to remember it for the amount of head hits I've had, but there was a false start done during it, and it wasn't picked up on. So I think it's good. I think some new things are good for the game. Some maybe not so much. This one is good for the game, but I think the rules need to be snapped on proper, considering how many cameras and replays and everything you do. If a football news crew's picking up on it within seconds, then they should as well. Right, have we all give our comment about that game? Are we ready to move on? Is there? Yeah. Okay. Right. So the next game after that, come on, internet, load up, you absolute thingy. The next game was the Jags against the Jets. I'm not looking forward to this Sunday because these are brilliant. Jags won 48-20. All three of us backed the Jags, and 90% of the public did. The other 10%. Hang on, we've got a comment here. Tush push is a trend in the league. A team finds a loophole, and everyone cries like a. Next year, a team will find a new loophole. I agree on that one. It's always almost have these. I'm assuming saying these always almost have false starts, which I agree. Right. So yeah, 48-20, really good win by Jags. A lot of momentum in that team. Steve, what are your thoughts on this one, mate?
I feel like this game has made the Jags look better than they think they are. Because the Jets, again, obviously also a terrible team.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just still don't have a number on Lawrence if he's going to be good or not.
I think this weekend will be a good test because we're a probably much better defense team than we are an offense team. Yeah, I think it'll be a really good test. You'll know more this weekend for me.
Yeah, I think this was like set 1 PE versus set 5 PE, if I'm being completely honest.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
It's very, very, very easy to look good against the Jets. It is. It's so good to look.
I remember the people in set 5. That's not nice.
What? Not nice to them because they're being compared to the Jets. Yeah, probably. But look, Trevor Lawrence. I think he's good. I think Trevor Lawrence is good.
Is he great?
No. I think he's got the potential to be great. He's a big guy.
How long have we been saying that for?
But he's still what? He got drafted in 2021, right? So we're 5 years in, and I don't think that I mean, if you look at Aaron Rodgers, he didn't play until his 4th year. Jordan Love didn't play till his 4th year, and so on and so on. There's instances where it takes people time to get into, and the Jags has never been a great situation. It's never been a team that's had coaching stability. It's never been a team that's had great wide receivers or great tight ends. And I think that, Brian Thomas is a great player. I think that, Calvin Ridley's been hit or miss, to be completely honest. I think Trevor Lawrence.
You've got a great comment here. So Lamar is average. What is Trevor?
If we're talking quarterback fundamentals, Trevor Lawrence is better than Lamar Jackson. Because he can throw the ball, he can put the ball into a gap. Lamar can't do it.
Mate, I have to disagree because being a QB, it's not just throwing a ball. There's so much more to it. I have to disagree, mate. I think if you said to every other team who isn't a rival to Jags or Ravens, if you said to every other team, which QB are you wanting out of them two? Me, I'm wanting Jackson. Steve, who would you rather have, Jackson or?
Jackson's got I think Jackson's got much better football IQ.
But who would you rather have?
Jackson.
Okay, cool. Back to it. Go on, mate.
But yeah, I think again that division is so up for grabs. But I think the Texans are going to take it, but the Jags will push them. I think the Colts are going to be a distant third by the end of it. But yeah,
I think some people are. I think they're going to have a bit of an argument. Mark Jones last year had Brian Robinson looking. I can't even see it. There's that many comments coming through. How to catch a ball? Can't believe that's a question. Right, Steve. Let's go to. Have you said anything on this bit?
Yeah.
So let's move on. We've got a big show to go through, and we're nearly at the hour point. I don't really think that any of us have got much to say in this. Unfortunately, Coach Russ, Giants 21, Commanders 29. I backed the Giants because of how awful the Commanders were. Both team seasons are done. I'm right. We know the Giants is the Commanders. I assume so. Anyone got anything to say? Awful game.
Both teams are tanking, aren't they? Let's face it. The Commanders have shut down Jaden Daniels. The Giants have got no team. So it is what it is.
I do think that Scatterboo injury completely ruined their season because it's absolutely nosedive since then. And it shows that he's such a big personality. So him coming back next season, whatever capacity it does, will be needed. Steve, anything on it, or should we just skip?
No, we can skip.
Cool. Right. Next one was a pasting. These are the team I'm really enjoying watching. We're going to go to our pick tonight, Obi-Wan. We are not that far away from it, I promise. Bears against the Browns. Bears spank the Browns. I think this team, the Bears, could literally go all the way if you carry on the way they've just carried on building and getting better and better and better and better. Steve, I'm going to go to you first.
Yeah, so I much to Cameron's hatred, I have the Bears making the playoffs. There's just something about it. I think it's just the coaching stuff. I don't think they actually have a good squad. I just think it's mostly they've been coached and they've got the right calls being made at the right times. And it's a team that could go a long way.
Nathan Coates is
I genuinely don't think they'll make the playoffs. I Super Bowl, but
we've got Bears baby woo, and then come on Bears. Literally not come on Bears. Can we not? Yeah, listen PG. And then we've got another. We've got 3 Bears fans here. This is great. You lot should make up a group chat, set up a fantasy football league. Don't do what I did. Okay. Next comment. Let's go to Let's go to Cameron.
It does pain me that the Bears have been good, but if we look at it, and I think that you made the comment last week, wherever you finish in the division is basically the big set of teams that you're going to play the next year outside of your division.
Yeah.
The Bears have not had a hard schedule at all. Yes, they're in the most competitive and hardest division in football, but they are not playing against good teams week on week. So it's very easy to build up a good record. Look at what the Vikings did the year that Kirk Cousins went mental. And then look at what happened the year after. And similarly, look at what Sam Darnold did with them last year when they were playing against fourth place teams. It's very easy to look good when you're playing against below average teams every week.
Sorry, mate. There's a comment. I've just got to read this out. Not had 3 Bears fans together since 1985. Go on, mate, as you were.
And again, it's like, obviously it was a great defensive performance, another 3 interceptions, scored off each one of them. That's 30 takeaways on the season. But again, when you're playing against subpar offensive teams, it's easy to get that to happen. And I'll bring up Myles Garrett, for instance. Myles Garrett, 21.5 sacks on the season, 1 short of tying the record. Yes, he wants 25. When you get more defensive snaps than any other primary pass rusher in the league,
have more chances.
Exactly. It's like the bottom team in the Premier League always has the most saves for the goalkeeper because they face the most shots. That doesn't mean you're the best at your job. It means you're getting the most opportunity.
If only them pesky Everton fans would listen to me about Jordan Pickford.
Honestly, I think look, I'm an anti-Pickforder, to be honest. But anyway, that's for another thing. But yeah, I think we're in a situation where it's going to be Bears or Packers make the playoffs, and the other one's going as the 7th seed. It's going to come down to Saturday night, and as much as Micah Parsons not being there is a pain.
We can't. We talk about this later. We can't do it. We've got to wait till later.
Yes.
Rules.
But yes, Bears are a fake 10-win team.
Okay. Next up, Saints beat the Panthers 2017. Does anyone care?
Not particularly.
No.
Okay. Next up after that, we had the Rams against the Lions. Rams won 41-34. What a game.
Yeah. Like, again, the Rams are a team that flatters to deceive at times, I think. They've got 2 incredible wide receivers in Nakua and Devontae Adams. They've got a great running back in Kyron Williams. They've got the weapons. Matthew Stafford, I think, is up there with, top 3 or 4 of his generation, if we're going to be completely honest.
Is he good, great, or God?
I think he's great. He's not quite God.
Okay. Super Bowl will make him God?
If he was God, he'd have made the playoffs a couple more times with that really, really bad Detroit team because he had Megatron and he didn't. So
Megatron. Okay.
But yeah, I think the Rams are going to be the top seed. There's no two ways about it. It's just whether or not they can stay healthy because Adams pulled up with a hamstring injury. He's doubtful for Sunday now. So if one of those 2 goes down, I worry that they've then not got a second option because the joy of those 2 is if you double one, the other's free. Because both of them are so good, you can't really get away with doubling either of them because it just leaves one man over. So if they can stay healthy, I think, NFC Championship minimum, but it's going to depend on health.
The top at the moment with 11-3. I think they got beat not last week, the week before, but that's really going to be interesting. I've actually got the playoff picture here, but we'll talk about this after we've gone through the weeks. Steve, what are your thoughts on this, mate?
For me, I think this sort of proves to me because I think the Lions have been a good squad. Mm-hmm. I think the Rams pulling this away so badly as well just sort of shows that they are the squad that we've had them at number 1 seed for weeks. So I think it's sort of showing, at least for us, that we potentially have been right for a long time.
Yeah, I've got a good comment here. Rams O-line are legit, and then we've got another comment. I can't reply. Saying.
To be fair, I don't have the stats, but I don't think Stafford's been sacked that much this year.
Well, that speaks obviously volumes on the comment that their O-line's just that good. Great comment. Yeah. Can Rams be caught by the winners of Bears Packers? Yes, they can.
Because of the way that the schedule goes, I think yes.
Correct. Yeah, correct. Yeah. Right, let's move on to the next game. I was so interested in this game, Seahawks and Colts. We all backed the Seahawks, but I think every one of us a little bit wanted the Colts to do decent, just with this whole fairy tale thing going on. Hang on, got a comment here. But Lions have blown out multiple times this season. It has been a very mental season. But yeah, 80% of the public backed the Seahawks to win, but it was a very close game, 18-16. Quick thought on this one, gents.
This shows me that the Seahawks aren't ready because they didn't score a touchdown and they were held scoreless for 3 quarters. They're not the team that they looked like being. And
Why don't listen? As long as that final whistle, final play, whatever, as long as your team's winning, I get where you're coming from in that aspect, but that just shows they've got the charisma in the team, the character to come from, to get that win over the line. I've played in many Brit Ball teams where we've been getting beat at half time and we're like, we're not getting beat, we're beating ourselves, that type of mentality. But we showed the character to pull our socks up and get the win, get it done, no matter how it's got done. I've never looked back on a win and thought we only won because of the defense. I've just thought we won.
I think if you can't score a touchdown again, because that Colts defense isn't great. It's not fantastic defense.
I'm going to be fair. Sorry. Of course, a Broncos fan will say that. Yes, mate. All day. Go on, mate.
And Rivers, as I say, I'm a Philip Rivers, believer. I would love it if we can't win it, that Philip Rivers comes off the sofa, gets his 5 years of medical insurance back, because that's really why he's come back, isn't it? His insurance was about to run out, and he's just become a granddad, and they all go on his insurance. But 18 of 7, 120 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. He game managed, which is what he needed to do. It's just a shame that they let the Seahawks into field goal range 6 times. But
I will say this. If you're a Colts fan, you're not too disheartened after that loss.
I'd agree.
Steve, what are your thoughts, mate?
I don't think the Colts are going to make the playoffs at all. I don't think Rivers is going to do it. But also, Philip Rivers did throw more touchdowns this week than Patrick Mahomes did, which obviously not hard, but yeah. I agree, Cameron. I agree that the Colts defense is definitely not good enough.
Considering how, because they were top of the shop, they've had a pretty poor few weeks. But we all said this was going to happen, and look, we say stuff's going to happen all the time, and it doesn't. Yeah. But very, very, very interesting results. Right, let's get to it. Next one. Denver Broncos against the Green Bay Packers. It was another 50-50 vote. The Broncos won 34-26. Myself and Lee backed the Broncos. Steve, you backed the Packers because your mate told you to. No, do you know what? This was a really good game. It was going to show both teams, where they're at. Obviously, Broncos are sitting great in a 12-2. I believe playoffs top spot is secured if the Pats get beat this week. I might be wrong on that. Again, won't be the first time. But it was a good win. I thought Bo Nix, had a good game. Packers are, obviously a very, very good team. We've praised them quite a lot throughout the season. However, are the Packers not going to make the playoffs? No, Packers are making the playoffs. Interesting game. Hang on, we've got a comment here. Anyone? What's that saying? Anyone make that money bet that Rivers would be having more yards than Mahomes? That's a great comment. That's a great comment. But yeah, look, Steve, you're going to go to your last on this one. I'm going to let you make up first.
Through 3 quarters, it was a very good game. It was, I was happy with how Jordan Love had played the first drive. He only really made 1 incompletion, and that was the pass through to the end zone on 3rd down. We looked like we were moving the ball well. And similarly, one thing, and I think this is what really shocked me, we were playing so much soft zone against a team. Bo Nix has been incredible at sticking the ball under the linebackers and putting the ball under zone coverage. And he has been good at it all season. And we were playing so much soft zone and just letting, Lil Jordan Humphrey was just getting underneath. Marvin Mims was getting underneath. And I was just like, this is not what we've been good at. You do have a fantastic offensive line, which kind of neutered Parsons and Gary a little bit.
I want to say a comment on what you just said there. We've had a great O-line for about 3-4 years. So it's very interesting for me to try and figure. Like, I mean, I'm just a fan. Let's be thinking to it, but just to try and figure out how it's changed so much, because when we had Wilson as the QB, you know, there was okay bits, you know, but we didn't make the playoffs. Bo Nix came in first year, we made the playoffs. It was a good first year. Second year, it's absolutely gelling. So I'd be curious for you, because obviously you made a comment before about, like, you know, Lamar Jackson's only done so, and this was what you said. Lamar Jackson's only done so good because he's had a really good O-line. You know, but Broncos have had this really good O-line for 3-4 years. We agreed on that before. So why is it only working now with Bo Nix? For you, what's changed?
Sean, oh god.
My second question is, what's it take for the Packers to go all the way?
So it works with Bo Nix because Sean Payton got the guy that he wanted. So in the same way that when he was at New Orleans, Drew Brees was his guy, he wanted him, and he built that offense around him. I think what we've seen with Bo Nix is Sean Payton changed the system. I don't think that it worked for Wilson. I don't think that it worked for Zach. Well, for either Wilson, to be honest, Zach or Russell.
Yeah.
But Bo Nix is a guy that one question of Bo Nix was always his downfield, you know, his downfield ball. And what they've shown is they don't need it. Like, there was one pass that really annoyed me, and it was Cortland Sutton. I think it was in the third quarter, and it went down to Cortland Sutton, and he was against Nate Hobbs. And what worries me is every time the ball goes near Nate Hobbs, I panic because he's a terrible, terrible boundary corner. But Cortland Sutton he's a good receiver. I think he's undervalued. Is Cortland Sutton?
Do you know what? I think that's who I've got on my shirt, and I make. Hang on, you lot have to tell me. Oh God, don't break stuff here. Right, hang on. Can you see?
Yes, number 14.
Is that right?
Cortland
yeah,
Sutton.
And do you know what? He's only had a good season because my wife bought this shirt. That's all I'm saying.
But yeah, I think the fact is, and the way that it goes, and why it's working for the Broncos, is because you're not trying to do anything too clever. It's hit the checkdowns, make sure that you're doing the right things, doing the fundamentals right. You've also got a good running back, which is nice to see. But I think it's just coming together. The defense is fantastic. The O-line's brilliant, which gives Bo Nix time. And I don't think that there is a team in the AFC that beat you. I think the Broncos will make the Super Bowl. In terms of the second question, what does it take for the Packers to make it? A bit of luck is the honest answer, because the reason we've looked so good this season is because we have had Parsons being doubled, and it's allowed Rashawn Gary to get because Rashawn Gary's a good edge rusher. He's not a great edge rusher, but he's a good one. He's got a good motor, and he will get to the quarterback. The issue that we've got now is who comes in on the other side is Lucas Van Ness. I don't rate him. He shouldn't have gone 13th in the draft. It was a bad pick, but whatever. Gary looked lethargic in the third and fourth quarter against you. He wasn't trying to push to the quarterback. He wasn't trying to get there. Our secondary's weak. McKinney's brilliant. I really like Williams. The issue that I've got is we don't have a true boundary corner. We don't have a great nickelback either, though Bullard's been okay, but I don't think we've got a true secondary, really. It's not like where we had Woodson. It's not like when Alexander was great. We don't have that. So a little bit of luck, and Jordan Love taking his Toyotathon form into the playoffs. So when Toyotathon ends, we need him to pretend it's not ended and then to keep playing well. Also, Christian Watson, without him on the field, we don't stretch. We've got no separation without Christian Watson on the field. And it's very telling that as soon as he was gone, as soon as he was out in the third quarter after that interception from Surtain, we went completely limp. And that's the problem that I worry about because he's so injury prone.
Okay. Steve, you're up.
Yeah. I think mostly the Packers defense, especially now that Parsons is gone, is going to be the problem. I think you've got a solid squad on offense, but as you were just saying, the defense not amazing.
So my thing on that is I agree he's a massive, massive loss, but you'll have people wanting to step up and go, I can do it. Pay me that money. I'll do it.
It's not even that though. It's not that. It's the fear factor. It's like when you play
Yeah.
against Man City, for instance, and I'll allude it to football. When you play against Man City and you know that Erling Haaland's on the pitch, you are
Yeah.
scared. Everything go. You know that you've got to double him. You know you've got to stick 2 or 3 defenders on him. The minute he's not on the pitch, and I think I saw it against Brentford earlier in the season. They just, as soon as he was off the pitch, they were free and they started going and they started attacking. And it's that. It's not necessarily what he's going to do.
ACL, isn't it?
Yeah. So he's going to be out till maybe week 8 next season at push. And if it was me, I would not have him play at all next season. I'd say next season to write off. Let's wait. Let's get him back, because if he rushes back, and I look at Aidan Hutchinson, right? Aidan Hutchinson has not come back the same player since he did his ACL. He's not the same guy, and I do not want to rush somebody back before they're ready. And I'd say the same thing about Mahomes as well. If I was the Chiefs, tank next season. Don't activate Mahomes at all, and just let it go, because there's no point, because elongating somebody's career is more important, especially if they're a franchise face and they're a face of the league. You want them in the league as much as possible, and they would be stupid to try and rush him back. But that's just how I see it. Also, by the way, I saw that comment from Coach Russ. I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. I did see it.
Okay, we've got to move on because we've gone over the shows a lot of time, and we've still got 3 games at half time for all this to go through. So these next 3 ones I'm just going to go over quickly. Okay. Okay, we don't know who you are, but someone's just clearly not happy. 49ers against the Titans. The 49ers won 37-24. Titans absolutely horrendous. 49ers, as it stands, looking very good for the playoffs. Not really got much to say on that. We expected that one. Are we correct, gents?
Yeah.
The Cowboys got beat against the Vikings. This was a bit of a surprise. We all backed the Cowboys, 34-26. Cowboys pretty much all but eliminated. They're not technically. I think if they win this weekend, they've got a 2% chance of making it.
Eagles have got to lose out at this point. If Dallas finish 9-7-1, the Eagles need to lose every game, which is not going to happen, is it?
Yeah. And then after that, we got the Steelers against the Dolphins, which was the Monday night game, or Tuesday morning if you're British. And it was 28-15 to the Steelers. It was a 50-50 vote. I backed the Dolphins. Stanley backed the Steelers. We're all done. We're all done on week 15.
I'll do a Steve quickly. Dolphins are 0-8 in games under Mike McDaniel when temperatures are below 40 degrees Fahrenheit.
Wow.
They do not like the cold.
I don't like the cold either. Right. So I'm going to just talk about the playoff picture dead quickly. So AFC, we've got the Broncos, then it's the Pats, the Jags, the Steelers, the Chargers, the Bills, the Texans. On the bubble, the Colts. If they win this weekend, there's a 25% chance they'll make it. And then we've got the Ravens, who, if they win this weekend, I've got a 49% chance of making it. I do think the Ravens will win. And then if we go over to the NFC, Rams are currently top, 11-3. Then the Bears, how they've climbed, fantastic. The Eagles are 9-5. The Bucks, the Seahawks, the 49ers.
The Bucks still in there.
The Bucks, I think they're top of their group, aren't they?
Because it's the worst division in football.
Yeah,
anyone can win.
Yeah. And do you know what's NFC South? Do you know what? I'd have to literally click on the NFC South, but the Panthers are still in the running for the playoffs. Why? Sorry, we were at the Buccaneers, the Seahawks, the 49ers, the Packers, the Lions. The Lions are in for a shout. If they win, there's a 47% chance they'll make it, apparently. If the Panthers win, there's a 44% chance. And let's all laugh at them, boys. If the Cowboys win, there's a 2% chance to making the playoffs. They ain't making the playoffs. Okay, look, we've obviously gone over a lot of time, but we've still got week 16 to go through, so we're going to go through it. I think this is going to be another brilliant week for football. There's some brilliant games. And considering at this point in the season, more and more teams have no chance of making it, there's not really that many games you're not interested. So we're going to start off Seahawks versus Rams. I'm actually going to go for the Seahawks on this one. I'm going to go to you, Steve.
Yeah, Rams for me, but I think you've got the right response. I don't know. Maybe the Seahawks can put it together.
Yeah.
They do have the number one offense and defense, or at least they did last week. I haven't looked at numbers this week.
Okay. Cameron?
Seattle need to win because at the minute the Rams have the tiebreaker over them after week 11. But if no Devontae Adams, I think the Seahawks are going to take it. Their defense is so much better than the Rams.
Okay. Commanders, Eagles. Really looking forward to this one, even though the Commanders have nothing to play for. But I'm going to back the Eagles. I think this would be a good game for the Eagles to get them dust themselves off in the playoffs. At this point, you pretty. No one thinks the Eagles aren't going to make the playoffs, right?
No, they've got to, haven't they? Really?
So at this point, are they trying plays they've not done before, or so on and so forth. It's going to be a good game for Eagles to get themselves prepped for them playoffs. So, but I'll be picking Eagles. Cameron,
this is the sort of game, and you see it every season that Jalen Hurts can't throw a pass. I'm going to say the Commanders win this, and it's not going to be a nice game. It's going to be a horrible, horrible game. And the Marcus Mariota is going to beat Jalen Hurts.
Wouldn't it be great if they got beat with a tush push?
It would.
2 seconds to go in the game. Rams for sure tonight. What they did to Simon the Ghost last year. Okay. Steve, did you pick one?
And annoyingly, Cameron's basically said what I was going to say. I'm going Commanders.
Okay. What the hell is going on? Lee would be having an epi fit. He's behind you. The Bears against the Packers. Game of the week. I don't know. Seahawks Rams could be. Bears Packers could be. I'm going to be backing the Bears. Just from what I've seen, they just keep going and going and going. I feel like it's going to be a brilliant game. I'm going to go to Steve first on this one.
I don't think the Packers are going to sweep the Bears. I think they're going to have enough to. They've got a rough idea from a couple of weeks ago. I think the Bears take this one.
Okay, Cameron?
I think everybody thinks we're going to lose this one because we've not got Micah Parsons. I don't think that Caleb Williams is ready to go effectively. It's not win or go home, but it's win and make the top seed or lose and be potentially 7th, maybe not making the playoffs. So I don't think that he's been in enough of those situations to be able to handle the pressure. And I think that Jordan Love will play a sensible game and Josh Jacobs will go off for over 100 yards. So I think the Packers win.
Okay. Next up, we've got the Cowboys against the Chargers. I'm going for the Chargers. That's easy enough for me. Steve?
I'm going Cowboys, but that's just mostly because I'm bitter at this point.
Cameron?
Chargers. There's no real way that the Cowboys can win this, I don't think.
Cool. Next up, we've got the Giants to the Vikings. I'm going to be going for the Vikings. Cameron?
Yeah, unfortunately, I think that is the way that it's going to go.
Steve?
Yeah, I'm going Vikings too.
Cool. After that, we've got the Dolphins against the Bengals. Both teams are out. I'm right in saying.
I'm pretty sure the Bengals are. I'm not sure about the
Dolphins went out on Sunday night when they got beat.
Oh, yeah.
Because remember the QB situation. I'm going to be going for the Dolphins. Steve? It's a bad game. This is a game.
This game could go either way. Burrow could put up 50 points, or he could put up 0 points. Who knows? Yeah, Dolphins.
Okay, Cameron.
I think it's crazy that we're even considering that the Dolphins could win this game. With the talent that the Bengals have got. If they do not win this game, then Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Joe Burrow, all of their stock drops so significantly that even if they did want to move off them at any point, there's no way they'll be able to.
and watch that happen on Sunday. Okay. Next up, we've got a bit of a make or break game. We've got Panthers against the Buccaneers. Panthers are somehow still scraping into the season. Bucks, as mentioned before, sank quicker than the Titanic. I'm going to go for the Panthers here. As most of the first week, I've not picked the Bucks. Steve, I'm going to go for you in this one, mate.
Yeah, I'm going Panthers. I'm thinking about redoing my playoff predictions because I had the Bucks in it originally.
We've got a great comment here. Bengals can score 40 and still lose.
Very true.
Yeah.
Cameron, you're up, buddy.
I think the Panthers win this one. The Bucks win in week 18 when it matters, and then the Bucks make the playoffs.
Oh, I see them going out in the first game in the playoffs, though.
Oh, absolutely. But I think when it comes to it, in life on the line situations, there is not a better quarterback in the league than Baker Mayfield. I don't trust. It's like Ronaldo on a penalty in a World Cup final. You want him there every time. Baker Mayfield is that guy.
Yeah. Interesting. Next up, Saints versus the Jets. Steve, I'm going to go to you first on this one, mate.
Oh, Christ. Do I have to choose?
Yep.
Jets, I think, maybe. I don't know. They're both awful teams. Who cares at this point?
Cameron?
Tyler Shuck's not a bad quarterback, you know. And the Jets are all-time awful. I was going to use a non-PG word there.
Don't
do it. The Jets they're gone. I don't know what's going to happen with them in the off-season, but yeah, New Orleans win this.
Okay. I'm going for the Jets. No reason. At this point, please don't take any offense if anyone's with this team. I don't care about either team. They've just been that bad all season. You'll come up. Obviously, you want to watch your team, and then you'll see how bad a team is. But I wouldn't want to watch them again. Okay. Next one, we've got Browns and Bills. Cameron, we're going to try something with you. Okay. Yeah. We're going to say the team that we think is going to win after 3. Browns or Bills? 1, 2, 3. Bills. Perfect. On to the next one. Titans against the Chiefs. I'm going for the Titans win on this. You've got a second string QB. Titans will be smelling some bit of blood. And you're a team that people want to play against. Like, you're 100.
True.
People aren't going to give. I'm going to play the Falcons. I'm not bothered about that. But next week, I get to play the Chiefs. I'm looking forward. Do you get that? Get what I mean by that part? So yeah, I'm going to be going for the Titans on this one. Cameron,
the Titans' first stringers aren't as good as the Chiefs' second stringers. So
yeah, but you said before this team wasn't a great team.
It's not, but the Titans are awful. The Titans are awful bad. Like, what do they have that's a redeeming factor? They've got nothing. Yeah, Chiefs.
Okay. Steve?
Yeah, I agree with you a little bit, Matteo. I think the Titans have the chance of doing it, but as I have done all season, I'm picking the Chiefs.
Okay. On to the next one. We've got the Broncos against the Jags. Again, there's a few games where I've said could be game of the week. I think this one's going to be a great game. Is it going to be game of the week? We'll find out. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to see how the Jags cope with, the top second team of the season. So I'm going to be backing the Broncos, but I think it's going to be a great game. Steve, let's go to you on this one.
Yeah, as you said, it's mostly going to be your D-line.
Steve,
that's going to win the game.
Steve, I want you to say this, and I want you to visualize in your head that you don't actually follow a football team. Okay, now your team's out. Just pretend that you don't like or you don't love either team, and go.
Yeah, again, as I was saying, I think your D-line is going to win this for you. I think their O-line is awful. Lawrence gets sacked a lot.
He does. Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be another game where you put up many points, but I think your defense is going to win this for you.
Do you think like a field goal difference or like a touchdown difference?
A field goal.
Oh, I like them games. Okay, Cameron, you're up, mate.
As hot as Jacksonville have been, 5 wins in a row, Trevor Lawrence, 9 TDs, 0 interceptions in the past 3 weeks. It's at Mile High, and Denver do not lose against teams that play at sea level at Mile High very often. You're 7-0 this season at home, and I don't think that Jacksonville go into a very frigid Colorado, Sunday evening is going to. I can't see the Jags winning. I just can't see it.
I lived there, mate, and I lived there for a good amount of time, and it's a beautiful place. But that altitude kicks your butt. I was up and about 10,000 feet above sea level, and we came down to where the signal was, so I could call my dad and let him know I'm okay. So my dad went, put Troy on. Troy's the dad of the family, and he goes, yeah. He goes, is he drunk or high? And he went, no, it's just the altitude. Like, you get altitude sickness and you get all sorts. Like, I had 2. Now I'm a guy back then who I could drink 15 beers and go, right, let's get the bottle of rum out. I had 2.5 beers and got put to bed, like, on one of my first nights there. Like, crazy.
Christ.
Yeah. Go on, mate, as you were.
But yeah, I think, after seeing it last week, and we've got a far, far better defense than Jacksonville have. As good as their offense is, I think the altitude is going to play a factor. You've not lost at home this season. You get the number 1 seed, and I think that's that. I think, as I say, I don't think minimum expectation has to be championship game for you now.
Yeah, I think it's a great comment about the altitude, and I love the fact that it's not talked about enough, that home field advantage, because we don't have nothing like that over here.
No,
not nothing at all like that. Whether you go to the Highlands in Scotland, it's nothing like that. And when I say you get tired, obviously, last time I was in the States, I was 22 plus stone, so I was a much bigger guy. You'd go up the stairs, you'd be out of breath. I'm talking 8 sets of 8 sets of stairs. You're napping like 2-3 times a day, not because of the jet lag, the altitude, it's crazy.
But here's an interesting one. Do you think that's why you play a lot of underneath football and not big, long go routes? Because if you were playing go routes or sending people on like deep corners, deep ins, if you were doing that, you're getting gassed after 2.5, 3 quarters. Yes, you're playing there quite a lot of the year, but there's players that are, you're playing elsewhere, you're getting on jet lag, you're getting all that sort of stuff. Is that why it's worked well this season? Because you're playing smart, underneath, check down football in the main?
I think you'd have to be a total idiot to not take advantage of the altitude.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
No other team has it like that. It's called the Mile High Stadium for a reason. So yes, I do think we do. I think we've got a great coaching staff. I think people go on, well, you've lost 2 games. The 2 games we lost this season were last second field goals. Well, Peyton Manning did a lot of goal routes. Yeah, correct. So it's mental for me, because this is the first year I've done this program. So I've got more into it than I ever have, because I want to know what I'm talking about, what I'm watching, what's good, what's bad. But Broncos, it's been consistent all season. So that's why I'm very confident of how far we'll go. It has been a crazy season, don't get me wrong, but going back to this altitude, you do see them with oxygen tanks. I'm hoping they run out in the nicest way possible, and we get the job done, because if we do, I think it's pretty much title sealed. Look, even if we won the first playoff game and lost or whatever, it's been a great season compared to what we've had.
Oh, absolutely.
It's been brilliant. No, Bo Nix is just not that good. I think Bo Nix is so we had good, great, and I said God level. I don't think Bo Nix is great yet, but I think he's on the way there. You look at the great QBs who played at the Broncos, they always go on about the stats. He's doing better in his first 2 seasons than some of the really good QBs we've had. So it's very, very interesting to see how he's going to do. I don't think he's great. I think he's good, but I think after this season, you could potentially class him as great next season. It's going to be interesting to see how he does under that pressure. We talk about.
Well, this is it. One thing I think about him that he is so good at, and it's what led to Micah Parsons just doing his ACL. He's so good at evading pressure, man. He's so good. You see him boot out of a shotgun. You see him go, and it's like, well, he's just gonna cut back, and he's gone.
it's not eyes in the back of his head. It's like he's got eyes in the side of his head because um, he gets out, but then he goes into free space where he can reread the game, see where he's really good, and he goes for it. And that, we've been really good on third downs and stuff, but he's not afraid to take a hit and run into it as well. Like we talked about Jackson before. Jackson and Bo Nix are complete opposite because for the run game, but Bo Nix has still scored a few run touchdowns. It's going to be interesting. Let's get on to the next one. I think we've lost Steve if he comes back on. But yeah, really, really, really good game. I reckon this one. Anyway, the next one, Cardinals Falcons. I'm going to go to you first on this one, mate.
Look, the Falcons have got. I can't see the Cards winning. Them basically saying that Kyler's done. Jacoby Brissett's coming in. I think he flattered to deceive for 2 weeks, and he's back to being Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah.
I'd love to see Kyle Pitts just have a mad end to the season, just for the story and what he might get paid in the summer. Because if the Falcons don't take a risk on him and pay him the money, somebody else will. There's a lot of teams that need a tight end, and he'd fit really well in a lot of systems.
It's not a position that's really like dominant. I mean, everyone talks about the Chiefs one, but it's not. It's a position that definitely needs more competition in.
Well, look at the Falcons. Trey McBride. He's the first. I think he broke the record last week. He scored. I think it's something like 16 games where he's had over a certain amount of catches. I forget how many it is, but he broke Kelsey's record.
Sorry, mate.
Yeah, go on.
Just got a comment here. I've been told to name an actual good QB.
I can name 3.
John Elway, Peyton Manning, and onto that. Crack on, mate, as you were. Sorry.
But yeah, I think, as good as Trey McBride is, they don't have any weapons outside Trey McBride, and it's very easy to guard one player. Yes, he's been fantastic, even though he's been doubled a lot. But Atlanta have got Bijan, they've got Tyler Algier, they've got Drake London.
I'd love him. I'd love him at Broncos. For me, we don't have a brilliant tight end. I don't think we have a good tight end really because we don't use him that much. But he'd be perfect.
Yeah,
imagine it.
I agree. He'd just be so good at getting underneath. He's so fast,
deceptively quick.
Yeah.
So I assume you're going for Falcons.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you on that one. Go for Falcons. I'm going to pick Steve's for them and pick Falcons too, just because I can. Yes, John Elway. Next up, we got the Texans and Raiders. Look, we're both going to pick the Texans. I'll let you say it in a second, mate. But what the hell does that franchise need to turn it around? Apart from, I don't know anything.
The Pete Carroll experiment has failed. He needs to go. And they need to draft well because Ashton Genty is great. I thought that was a luxury. I think that was a really stupid pick from them. As good as Ashton Genty is, the issue that I've got is that there's no offensive line and there's no passing game. So it doesn't matter because they know what's coming. As soon as Ashton Genty stood there looking like Mike Myers, they know it's going to him. So,
and it's not even like a little bit Mike Myers. It's
fully.
Next up, we've got the Lions and the Steelers. I think it's going to be a great game, but I do think the Lions are going to get done here. The Steelers have been very inconsistent on the fact that the top of their league, it's just a bit of a mad league. I'm going to go to you on this one, mate.
The Lions are 0-5 when their run game has been held to under 70 yards as of last week.
Wow.
So with the fact that Pittsburgh run defense is so much better than their secondary, I am going to suggest that Aaron Rodgers he's still a guy. If you give me 3 or 4 quarterbacks in the league that you want in a win or go home game, he's one of them. Even now.
You can see when, like, I don't know if you've seen, there was a clip on the weekend, someone giving him abuse and he just gave it back. But they had a clip of like the argument going on. It was, whoever they were playing against, and people were looking at him like he was God. They were like, I'm like, mate, you're playing against them, don't be.
Well, this is it. DK Metcalf is showing that he probably is, a top 15 receiver in the league. Yeah. I mean, it helps when you've got Aaron Rodgers throwing you the ball, but by the same token,
I'm sure I'd look great.
But by the same token, I don't know if you saw his touchdown against the Dolphins, but he received the ball. He stiff-armed one, stiff-arms another. He's so big, so strong. If you can get him in the position, he's going to do it. And I don't think the Lions are going to have the run game to make that play-action passing game work.
Okay. Right, Ravens and Patriots. I'm going Ravens. I think Patriots have had a very fortunate set of teams. They've not picked that. They've just beat whoever's been in front of them. I know they got beat last week. Maybe I feel for me it's going to have a bit of pressure, and for Ravens it's a must-win game.
Yeah, I think they're 39% to reach the playoffs at the moment. If they win, they go up to 47%. But the Patriots' defense is very, very good. I don't think that they've got enough offensively to beat New England, who have been very efficient. It's just whether or not they have a collapse like they did last week. I mean, granted, it was the Bills and Josh Allen's just crazy, but I don't think that the Ravens have got enough for them. So I'm going to say the Patriots win.
Okay, be an interesting one. And then we've got the Colts against the 49ers. The 49ers are in a great position at the moment. I think they're in the playoffs. Let's have a little look. But the Colts, they need a win. If they lose, they're pretty much out. So it'll be a 20. They've still got a tough road to do. But if anyone could do it, I think the Colts can. I'm going to pick the Colts. I think it's a Monday night game as well, so it's going to be an interesting one. It could go either way. It wouldn't surprise me if it did. But yeah, I want to pick the Colts.
It's an interesting one because if San Francisco win, they're in. If the Steelers beat the Lions and they don't win, they're also in. So realistically, they're not, they're not sort of in we can calm down territory because you obviously want that momentum going into the playoffs. But Indy, if they don't win, like you say, that's it, I think. And as I say, I'm a Philip Rivers believer. I would love Philip Rivers to pull that team from what looked like nothingness.
Yeah.
And get them into the playoffs. I don't think they'll do anything after that, but it would just be fun. I'd love a Broncos Colts championship game because I would. If I'm thinking the Packers go to the Super Bowl, which I'd love to happen, and we play either the Broncos, which would be just a fantastic game of football, or the Colts. And if I was going to lose to any team, let it be Philip Rivers, man, because the story would be so good.
It's like when Liverpool got beat by Newcastle. Was like, right, if any team's going to beat us, I think Newcastle would be the top pick. I'll take that. Well, folks, that's been week 16. Lock up your fantasy football teams, get them all boxed off. Make sure you're all happy. Mate, thank you very much. I'm sure we'll get you on again. You've enjoyed it?
Yeah, really good, really good. I've only got a few mates that really, watch it, so it's nice to get on and have a proper chat about it.
Sorry, we got a comment. Recency bias definitely is a thing on here. Aaron Rodgers, best quarterback in the league, top 3 or 4. Hey, listen, do you know what? Whoever you are, if you ever want to come on the show, you're more than welcome as long as you don't swear. I'm always going to be a bit biased towards my team. The next few weeks are going to be really interesting. But as well for yourself. The one thing I do disagree with both of you on, I think the Titans are going to do the Chiefs this weekend. And the reason for it is I'm a big believer that some teams will play a lot better against other teams just because it's who they play.
I think it matters less because Mahomes injured. That's where I'd agree with you if Mahomes was playing.
But if I'm playing D-line or if I'm playing O-line, I'm like, he's not playing. We can get a win against the Chiefs.
But Gardner Minshew, man, Minshew mania. I can see it. I can see it. Do you know what would be the worst thing for them? And it really would if they win out now and they get a worse draft pick than they probably should this season, and it ruins whatever's going to happen following this. Which I quite like. I really don't like the Chiefs, so I wouldn't mind that. But
well, hopefully you've seen this before. Thank you very much, folks. I've been Matteo.
I've been Cameron.
We'll see you next time. Thank you very much. Next week we are on Tuesday at the same time because there's absolutely no chance I'm doing this when I'm plastered on Christmas Day. We will see you next time, folks. Take care.